welcome to the deep dive.
Mhm.
Remember just what, a couple of years ago when tools like ChatGPT just sort of exploded
Yeah, it was everywhere.
and there was this incredible buzz, almost frantic, around prompt engineering. People were calling it the job of the future.
Definitely. Everyone was trying to find that perfect phrase, like a magic spell to get the AI to do exactly what they wanted.
It felt like learning a secret language,
Yeah.
like cracking a code to unlock all this AI potential.
That excitement was really tangible. You saw companies actively looking for prompt engineers. People focused purely on crafting the best text inputs. It felt like a brand new essential skill.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And well, our mission today is to really dig into that because the reality, it's changing fast. While
mhm.
everyone focused on the technical side of prompting back then, we're going to unpack why prompt engineering, as a standalone skill, is actually becoming less important. And more importantly, we want to highlight the human skills that are really critical now for using these GenAI tools effectively, especially for you if you're a manager trying to boost your own skills and guide your teams. We've got some interesting insights from research and reports here.
It's a really fascinating and very quick shift, moving from what felt like this technical craft to something much broader, much more strategic, and fundamentally human.
Yeah, it really forces a rethink about where our value lies when we're working with AI.
Exactly.
And that shift is happening so quickly
Yeah,
because, while we all jumped on that prompt engineering
we
train,
definitely did.
its relevance on its own is already kind of fading. Let's get into the surprising reasons why this skill isn't the be all and end all anymore. We all tried it, typing into ChatGPT or those AI art tools,
Trying to get that perfect output.
convinced we were just one tweak away from brilliance. All those cheat sheets online.
Yeah, the ultimate prompt guide.
Exactly. But what's really striking from the latest research is how fast that perception is changing. It turns out prompt engineering, it's actually best done by the AI model itself.
Not by humans.
Right, which completely redefines our role.
Hmm.
So why? Why is this happening so fast? What's driving this move away from us crafting the perfect prompt?
Well, the biggest reason fundamentally is that the AI models are just getting more intuitive, much better at understanding natural language.
Okay,
So that reduces the need for us to painstakingly engineer these very specific, kind of fragile prompts. The AI is getting better at figuring out what you mean, not just the exact words you type.
right, it's learning to sort of read between the lines. But hang on, if they're getting so good, why were human prompts so tricky or unreliable to begin with?
That's a great question. And it points to another major issue researchers found. Human design prompts are just, well, they're fragile, unreliable.
Hmm,
For instance, there was research from VMware looking at chain of thought prompting. That's where you ask the AI to explain its reasoning step by step.
like show your work. Yeah, I've seen that. You'd think that would consistently lead to better
You
results.
would think. But they found it was surprisingly inconsistent. Sometimes it helped the AI perform better, sometimes it actually hurt performance.
Really?
Hurt it.
Yeah, even simple things like adding positive phrases, this will be fun, yielded inconsistent results. It's not like a reliable engineering process for humans.
That's wild.
And this fragility also means tiny changes, a different word, a spelling mistake. Even punctuation could completely change the output. That's not how humans understand language.
It's like trying to tune a very, very sensitive radio. Almost seems like a bad user interface if it's that finicky.
That's exactly how human computer interaction HCI experts are starting to see it. They're calling prompting a poor user interface,
Wow.
something that should eventually be phased out. Some are even predicting it'll be remembered as a fad of the early 2020s. They expect more natural, maybe more structured ways to interact as the AI gets better. A fad of the early 2020s. That's quite a statement. Okay, so if humans are inconsistent and the interface is poor, what's the alternative? How do we get good results?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. We're seeing the rise of auto tuned prompts,
Auto-tuned, meaning
meaning the AI models are now generating their own optimal
the
prompts.
AI is writing prompts for itself.
Exactly. And these AI generated prompts, they're proving to be way faster hours instead of days of human tweaking, and often much more successful than anything a human comes up with.
Okay, now get this. I read some of these prompts can be utterly bizarre, right? Like completely unexpected.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine an AI figuring out that the best way to solve a complex math problem involves sticking in a Star Trek reference.
Seriously, a Star Trek reference.
That's what the VMware research found. It
Yep.
sounds crazy, but it worked. Or look at Intel Labs neuroprompts for image generation. You might type a frog on a bicycle. Neuroprompts then automatically enhances that simple phrase with all sorts of complex descriptive details generated by AI to create a much richer, more detailed image than your simple prompt ever could alone.
So the AI finds these weird optimization tricks that a human would just never think of, and it's faster and better.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, what does this mean for us? For managers, for anyone trying to use these tools effectively? What's the takeaway?
The implication is pretty clear. We probably shouldn't be spending our time manually trying to optimize prompts anymore.
Okay.
Our focus needs to shift. It should be more about developing good scoring metrics, ways to tell the system whether one prompt it generated is better than another.
So we define good and then let the AI figure out how to get there.
Exactly. We let the AI optimize itself based on our criteria. We move from prompt crafting to maybe prompt strategy and evaluation of the AI's crafting process.
That's a huge shift. So if we're not meant to be prompt whisperers anymore, what is the key human skill? What's the foundation now?
Without a doubt, it's problem formulation.
Problem formulation. Okay, tell me more. Why is that so crucial?
Because unlike prompt engineering, which is about how you ask, problem formulation is about defining what you're asking in the first place. It's the strategic work before the prompt.
Giving the stage.
Precisely, establishing the problem's focus, its scope, the parameters. If you don't have a clearly defined problem, even the best prompt, whether human or AI made, is going to miss the mark. It could be completely useless.
Got it. So it's about asking the right question, not just asking the question well.
Right.
And this sounds like it has layers. What are the key parts of problem formulation we need to master?
Well, first, there's problem diagnosis.
Okay.
For you as a manager, this means digging deep, getting to the root cause, not just chasing surface symptoms. If sales are down, is it really just a new competitor? Or is it something deeper? A product issue, a market shift, maybe a gap in your team's training?
Right. AI can analyze data, but you need to frame the actual problem you want it to help solve.
Exactly. Diagnosis points you to the real issue. But then some problems are just huge,
Hmm.
complex. How do you tackle those with AI? It can't just be one prompt.
Good point.
That's where problem decomposition comes in.
Breaking it down.
Yep. Taking that big, scary challenge and breaking it into smaller, manageable subproblems, things your team and the AI can actually tackle. Think about, say, improving customer engagement online. That's massive.
Right.
But you can decompose it, improve the UI, personalize the shopping experience, streamline checkout. Each of those is a smaller piece AI can help with in a targeted way.
Okay, that makes sense. Now here's one that sounds really powerful. Problem reframing. How does that work in practice for a manager?
Oh, reframing is incredibly useful. It's about changing your perspective on the problem to unlock totally different solutions.
Like looking at it sideways.
Kind of. So maybe a retail manager first asks, how do we get more people to our in store events? Standard question. But if they reframe it to, how could we recreate that valuable in store experience for customers virtually? Suddenly you're opening up a whole new solution space. AI might then generate ideas for VR shopping, interactive online workshops, things you wouldn't get from the original framing.
Ah, that's clever.
Yeah.
It really encourages more innovative thinking beyond just tweaking what you already do.
Absolutely. And the last key component here is constraint design.
Constraint design, setting limits.
Exactly. It's about defining the boundaries, setting the input, process, or output restrictions to channel the AI's power effectively. If you're running a social media campaign, you, as the manager, need to set those constraints,
Like,
like defining the target audience, the budget, the brand guidelines, maybe even the tone of voice. These constraints guide the AI away from generic junk towards tailored, relevant output that actually meets your needs.
so problem formulation is the bedrock, absolutely critical. But what else? What other human skills are vital for working well with GenAI?
Next up, I'd say contextual understanding.
Context.
Right.
AI doesn't inherently know your specific situation.
Precisely. Generic AI outputs come from generic inputs.
Mhm.
If you want truly useful, actionable stuff from AI, you need to feed it detailed, specific context, your industry jargon,
Mm.
your company's brand voice, audience details, maybe internal data. The more specific, the better.
Can you give a practical example of how that context makes a real difference for a manager?
Sure, let's say you need to create an investor presentation. Ask the AI, write a presentation about our product, and you'll get something bland, generic.
Yep, seen those.
But if you, the manager, provide the context, the product's unique selling points, the exact target market, your growth strategy, and specify the audience, say non-technical CEOs who need the big picture,
Ah, okay.
then the AI can produce something far superior, relevant, compelling, targeted. Your context elevates the AI's output massively.
Makes total sense. What's another essential skill?
Critical evaluation, or just plain critical thinking. This is non-negotiable.
Being the skeptic in a good way.
Exactly. As a manager, you absolutely have to interpret what the AI gives you. You need to spot inaccuracies, biases, or that weird thing called confabulation, where the AI just makes stuff up confidently.
Hallucinations, yeah.
Right. And part of this is achieving what researchers call appropriate reliance, knowing when to trust the AI and critically when not to, when to overwrite it.
Can you give an example where that's crucial?
Think about public procurement. An AI might analyze bids, flag risks based on data, but if you rely on it blindly,
You could miss something important.
you might misjudge a vendor's unique strengths, overlook critical market context, or ignore valuable existing relationships. The human manager needs to weigh the AI's analysis against their own nuanced understanding and make the final responsible call.
That's a big weight. Okay,
Really.
what about just keeping up? This field changes so fast.
That brings us to exploration and experimentation. The AI landscape is literally changing week by week. New tools, new features.
It's dizzying.
It is. So, as a manager, you need to foster a culture of staying updated, of trying things out. Dynamic, hands on interaction, trial and error, continuous evaluation.
Like that Coca-Cola campaign.
Exactly. Their Create Real Magic campaign using DALL-E and ChatGPT that was large scale, active experimentation. Discovering what's possible. It requires a continuous learning mindset for you and your team.
And tied into that, what about the human side? Our own reactions.
Good point. That's reflection. Examining your own thoughts, feelings, biases when you interact with these tools, especially for tasks that feel tied to your identity or expertise.
How does that help a manager?
It helps you understand your own emotional responses. Maybe it's fear, maybe excitement, maybe frustration, and manage those reactions constructively, both for yourself and for how you lead your team through these changes.
Okay. And finally, maybe the most critical for managers, strategic thinking. Bridging the business need with the technology.
Yes, this is that uniquely human ability to envision the desired outcome, articulate the needs clearly, and align AI deployment with the bigger organizational strategy.
This is what separates just using AI from actually leveraging it.
Absolutely. We've all seen companies jump on the AI bandwagon just because it's trendy, right?
Okay.
Without a clear problem to solve. Strategic thinking ensures AI initiatives are purposeful, integrated, and actually drive meaningful impact for the business.
Which leads us neatly into the bigger picture. human AI collaboration. We're talking about human AI hybrids, right?
Hmm.
Humans and AI working together. How does that actually play out for a manager trying to build these systems?
Yeah, these hybrid systems are where things are heading, and we can understand them pretty well using something called work system theory, or WST.
WST, yeah.
Think of it as a framework for looking at how people, processes, information, and technology all interact to get work done. For managers, it helps pinpoint friction points and opportunities when integrating AI. It breaks it down into two phases.
What's the first phase?
First is the construction phase. This is all about designing and developing the hybrid system, the architecture, the infrastructure, the tech choices.
Building blocks.
Right. And the challenges for managers here are things like uncertainty about what skills the team needs, maybe a lack of in house AI expertise, and often big issues with data, not enough data, biased data, privacy concerns.
Okay, so you build the system, then what?
Then you move into the execution phase. This is when it's up and running. The focus shifts to the participants,
Yeah.
the humans and the AI agents, and how they actually collaborate day to day.
And the challenges change too, I imagine.
They do. You need to allow ramp up time for both humans and the AI to learn how to work together. You need to cultivate that appropriate reliance we talked about, knowing when to trust the AI. And interestingly, you have to start thinking of the AI almost as a separate stakeholder, which kind of blurs the lines between traditional development and ongoing use.
So how do you make that execution phase work well?
Good practices include things like making sure humans and AI have aligned mental models, basically. They understand each other's roles and capabilities. Training people in AI specific skills is key. And creating easy ways for humans and AI to communicate, maybe even without needing code.
This idea of human involvement seems critical.
Huh.
Which brings us to human oversight and regulation. It sounds like human judgment isn't just a nice to have, it's becoming essential, even legally required.
It absolutely is. Human oversight is crucial to manage risks, to understand what the AI can and can't do, to spot problems, and to make those final calls like overriding an AI decision or even shutting a system down if needed.
And it's not just best practice.
No, it's being written into law.
Uh-huh.
Look at the EU AI Act. Article 14 specifically mandates that high risk AI systems must be designed for effective human oversight.
High risk systems like what?
Things impacting health, safety, fundamental rights. For some of those systems, decisions based on AI identification, for example, need verification by at least two people.
Two people. Wow.
Yeah. It really underlines that human judgment remains the ultimate backstop, especially when the stakes are high.
Okay, let's zoom out. We hear these huge numbers, Gen AI adding trillions to the economy, boosting productivity. What does this mean for the actual work we do, particularly for knowledge workers and managers?
It's definitely changing the anatomy of work. AI is augmenting us, automating specific activities within our jobs, freeing up time for hopefully higher impact tasks.
Right.
And interestingly, the biggest incremental impact might be on higher wage, more educated knowledge workers. The very jobs, often involving decision making and collaboration, that we used to think were least automatable.
So it's reaching further up the chain than previous automation waves.
It seems so. And the pace is picking up. Some estimates now suggest half of today's work activities could be automated maybe a decade sooner than we thought just a few years ago, perhaps by 2045.
A decade sooner. That's rapid change.
Mhm.
So for you listening as a manager, what does this accelerated pace demand from you right now?
It means investing in your people is more critical than ever. Supporting them as their roles shift, helping them upskill with these new competencies we've been discussing problem formulation, critical thinking, strategic alignment with AI.
It's a core responsibility.
Absolutely. You need to prioritize developing these AI related skills in your team, foster flexibility in how AI gets integrated, and really adopt what's called a socio technical view,
So technical, meaning
meaning you have to consider both the people and the technology together. Success isn't just about having the fanciest AI, it's about how humans and AI work together effectively within your organization's context.
right. Okay, so let's bring this all together. The main message seems clear.
Hmm.
That early hype around being a technical prompt engineer, that's fading.
It is. It's giving way to a much deeper need for uniquely human skills. Strategic thinking, really defining the problem well, critically evaluating the output, providing that rich context.
While the AI gets better at the mechanics, maybe even optimizing its own prompts, the human role becomes more strategic, more about direction and judgment.
Exactly. Generative AI is undeniably powerful. It's unlocking incredible potential, opening doors to innovation and efficiency. It's a tool that's constantly learning and changing how we work.
But remember, the most powerful key to unlocking the full potential of this technology, the key to achieving real impact and true innovation, well, that key isn't found in the AI itself.
No, it isn't.
It's found within us, within our uniquely human abilities to define the challenge, to exercise discernment, and to provide direction. The question is, what will you do with that key?